Welcome to the Caddo Convos, the podcast that explores the vibrant community of businesses thriving in Caddo Office Reimagined. We're here to shine a light on the incredible entrepreneurs and professionals who make the most of our private offices, co-working spaces, and day office rentals in the Dallas-Fort Worth suburbs. Join us as we share their stories, celebrate their successes, and dive into the benefits of working in a space that's close to home but offers so much more than working from home. Let's get started with today's conversation. Today on the Caddo Convos is my new friend Carl Millsap of Revolution Financial Management. How you doing, Carl?
Great. Good to be here.
Awesome. Great to have you. Let's talk about your business. How do you help your customers? What would you say makes you different?
What's different about me is we work with the middle class American. Like you and me both know that middle America is being left behind when it comes to finances. And financial services, as far as education goes, is only given to the 1%. Right. And so what I do is I help those who are like me, and just education and learning where to save and why to save.
Let's talk about, Carl, who is your ideal customer? Who are they? Family? Who are the people that you're contacting now?
I'm looking to help the people who want to be helped, and
Okay.
that ideal market is I use the acronym STEAM. That's those who are good salesmen or into sales, ambitious. They're looking to win. Maybe they haven't found it yet. They've lived their whole life and they've done all these different things, hop from job to job, but they haven't really found the niche or the correct mentorship or coaching that they've needed. Then we've got T would be the teachers, those who are good at relaying skills, and helping people pick up on skills and then carry them on into building themselves and getting better. E would be the entrepreneurial, those who are really into building something of their own. And then M would be motivated, those who are really actively engaged in, self-motivation is what I'm really after.
Interesting. So tell me about the program. Well, let's say I'm one of those. I fit under your acronym umbrella. Okay. How would we start?
Well, first off, I focus on the primary market that I'm looking after, or those who I'm going to reach out to are really I want favorable introductions. So I'll sit down with a family or friend and show them what it is I do and ask for referrals. And then they'll introduce me to someone else and we'll sit down with them. And I think it's mainly when we bring someone on and we recruit them, now we're going to help them start saving, and we're going to show them why it's so important to do that. Because really, we want new partners to be doing the things that we're teaching, right?
Yeah.
If you're not gonna buy shoes from a barefoot salesman.
Right.
You really want to have actively practicing the things that we preach.
In a phone call you and I had recently, we're talking about what's happening in the market right now. I mean, there's a lot of movement right now from a wealth transfer and so on. This is a unique time in history financially. What's going on?
There's trillions of dollars in motion because of the baby boomers.
Yeah.
Right after World War II, men went home and started, procreating.
Yeah.
So big families and tons of children being born. Now all those children are passing on their wealth, and it's in the amounts of trillions and trillions of dollars. It's either in retirement plans. It's being passed on in when they pass away, it's life insurance. It's all sorts of products.
And I understand that if they don't have a plan, the government has a plan, right?
Exactly.
And so it sounds like what you're doing with your company is helping mitigate the risk of plan B, which is, the government's got a plan for that. They'll happily take and make all of that happen. You're helping with succession planning, proper planning.
Right.
So tell me more about that.
Well, the government had their plan and they started it a long time ago, and that's lock everything up in tax deferred products like 401ks and retirement plans that require that you put off paying the taxes till later. And now they what are taxes going to be later? We don't know. Highly likely that they're going to be higher than they are now. So people keep putting off paying them and putting off paying them, and then what's going to happen now that they go to retire? They're going to pull them out, and they're going to be well beyond what
Taxed.
they planned on,
Yeah.
right? So we teach people to put more of their hard-earned money in a tax-free product up front, so
Right.
that when they retire, now they're pulling it out. It's not, they can't be taxed. Plus, it's non-discoverable.
Right.
It's another wise thing to do with your money, so that if you have something come up where people can confiscate it, now they don't have access to it because it's non-discoverable.
Interesting. So you're making sure that they're when the money is finally being released, it's theirs.
Exactly. Then another thing is planning for when you pass away. A lot of people don't want to think about that. Let's talk about it because it's 100% guaranteed.
It's the two things, death and
Right.
taxes,
Right.
right?
And so why not leverage those things in your family's favor?
Yeah.
Why not set it up so that you're passing on wealth? Why not set it up so that your family's going to remember you for the things that you gave them when you left, right? Instead of leaving them a tax burden or leave them a mess,
Yeah, a
right?
mess.
While they're grieving, leave them something that they can be proud of.
Right. It's basically just educating yourself, getting organized, and making sure all that's in order. And that's what you
Exactly.
help with.
Exactly.
Interesting. What's your favorite part about what you do?
Well, when I first sat down with my brother, I was skeptical about what it was. For one thing, he invited me, and it didn't sound like the usual. My brother Dale. It wasn't the usual Dale. Hey, come to this thing. I just want to introduce you to my mentor, and we're going to show you the project we're working on. I was like, that's interesting. And I put it off and put it off. And finally, my wife was like, hey, we're using his Airbnb for free. At least we can do is sit down and see what he's got for
Sure.
us.
That
So
sounds
we
fair.
hopped on the Zoom, and he introduced me to this gal, and it's like, what is he doing with this gal, right? Because Dale's highly successful. He's been into politics. He's done all sorts of stuff, and I always wanted to be like Dale, and I was like, this is interesting. But she started to talk about that wealth transfer. She talked about all these things um, through course of things that she showed us and taught us. She had been through. She'd watched her parents. Um, they put everything away in the stock market, and then 2008, and they lost everything.
Yeah.
And she learned a ton from that. She started her entrepreneurial mission of not going that path and putting stuff away. Her and her husband started to build this business, and that was huge, right?
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. I've always been entrepreneurial. I started out with dad, being highly educated and really accomplished as an aerospace engineer, and he passed that on to his kids just in his example. So that was the first thing. What I loved about this is it provided a network of mentors, coaches, amazing mentors and coaches, high a high moral, a group of people that really established for me a high trust level, like really super high trust level. So it was a place that I felt safe, and that's the thing I love the most about it.
That's terrific. Speaking of places, you and I are both Caddo Office Reimagine members. Tell me what attracted you to the Caddo office has 10 locations in the DFW area. That's where we're located. Tell me about your reason for being a member of Caddo.
I loved the fact that you could go from location to location. Uh, I would really love that. I would really hope that they have a location closer to my home out in uh, northwest of Fort Worth. However, I love that I can go from location to location, and I love that they're fully furnished. They're nice. They give you options. They're flexible, and the office staff is wonderful.
Well, how does that benefit your business?
The ability to go location to location is huge. Like I have a client that's out here in Frisco, then I can hop over to the Frisco location. If I have one over closer to North Tarrant, then I can go over there. Or you know,
That's excellent. Best way to contact you. So people are hearing your voice, getting to know you a little bit. How do you like to be reached?
I have LinkedIn account, a Facebook account, and a Instagram account.
Excellent.
and they all can be located under my name. I'm sure.
Excellent.
Or Millsap Island Ranch. We have a little 3.5 acre
Millsap
piece of
Island
land. We
Ranch. Yeah.
call it Millsap Island Ranch, kind of as a, I guess, as a joke.
Yeah.
Most Texans don't consider that small of a piece of ranch, but we still
Hey, you can have
we
fun
enjoy
with
it. We
It's your
have
land.
horses,
Yeah.
dogs, cats, a rabbit, a chinchilla, chickens, ducks.
Yeah. You got a whole ecosystem
Yeah, we
going on over
do.
there. That's
hmm
fantastic. That's great. Real quick for anyone who's listening, just scroll down into the show notes. So everything Carl has given me, his contact info is going to be there and it'll be updated in perpetuity. So if
Okay.
something changes, they'll be able to reach you, Carl. Let's talk about where you are now. In the what does the next 6 months look like for your business? Crystal ball or otherwise. It's tough to predict, but what are your goals for the next 6 months?
To surpass six-digit income.
Yeah.
To build a team of, I'd like to see my team grow pretty rapidly.
Yeah.
And that's really where our business is different than other businesses, in that we're really structured around growth. We've got a full field force of over 90,000 right now,
Wow.
and that could very easily double in a very short amount of time.
Sure.
Our founder, Rich Dolly, he's been doing this for over 40 years. And when he first started, it was just about paying off a sofa and getting rid of the credit card, just to help his wife and then feel like he was, on the ground, or getting his feet on the ground. And now he's running an organization that's just
Massive.
ginormous. They're partnered with Aegon. And Aegon's actually moving to the United States because most of their business is right here between Transamerica and us. So we could very easily expand at a very rapid pace, which we get a piece of as we get to a marketing director level in the company. So we get ownership, we get stock in the company, and just incredible opportunities for stability and growth.
So if you're looking to add people, for people listening, how many people you're looking for to add in the next 6 months?
It's easily scaled,
Best
so there's really
case
no
scenario.
limit.
Oh, wow.
There's really no limit.
So saying 10 is probably a small number then.
And I don't need to worry about whether I can handle it,
Yeah.
because the coaching and mentorship is structured so that if I can't handle it, there's going to be people that step in. So there's this structure where I don't have to worry.
Right.
If I'm going to be able to do the coaching and teaching to the capacity that I feel like I need to, there's going to be somebody that jumps in and helps out.
You've got system support, scale support,
Yeah.
and marketing, sales, and all those things
Yeah.
built into this organization.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Just to give you an idea of some of the people in the company, you got Marshall Falk is in Revolution Financial Management. If you don't know who he is, he's a retired professional football player. He's he's incredible.
Definitely know the name.
Yeah. The cool thing about him is when football was over, he was looking at the future. He's not stuck in the old days. He's
Right.
looking towards the future. He's an entrepreneur. And that's what I found out about most of my coaches and mentors. Don't get stuck in the past. Let's look towards the future. Let's not dwell on what went poorly. Maybe learn from it, but
Sure.
look towards the future. What are we going to do? How are we going to grow?
Yep. That's the purpose of every business. And I to your point, is like the past is the past. So the best thing you can do is, failures or otherwise, learn from it,
Right.
and bring those forward. It isn't often, Carl, that people bring up their family, but clearly your father was a mentor of yours. Tell me more about him.
Okay. It all started in start out in the 70s is where Dad's career first started. And he worked initially for Thiokol. You probably know them more commonly now as Northrop Grumman. Northrop Grumman bought them out, but Thiokol they built the booster engine for the shuttle program. Dad was an aerospace engineer. He worked initially, I think, 20 years for them. Went off on his own venture and started doing work in the seals and packing division. Built his own company in hydraulic repair and seals and packing. And then 86 came around and Challenger blew up.
Oh yeah.
And he got recruited by Thiokol again and went back to work for them. He's always been an entrepreneur, always wanting to build his own companies and be on his own. but he leased his time back to Thiokol. He spent a total of over 40 years with Thiokol.
Yeah.
Just an amazing aerospace engineer. I always took for granted all of the things that he accomplished in that career. But it really started with him. He wanted to build a business. So my brother Dale and I helped him build a business. Unbeknownst to us, we weren't really building a business. It was self-employment, right? We've learned more now that a business, in order to be a business, is going to be something you can walk away from and it's still paying you, right? So like a McDonald's or a franchise. But for his influence on me was huge in helping me establish hard work ethic. It's not about a degree or the diploma, but it's about how you're going to apply all of the lessons that you learn through life and never give up and always be after it.
Yeah. That's what entrepreneurship is.
Right.
Is being your own boss means you wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
What would you say are the hats you wear the most doing what you do?
Well, there's a lot of hats I wear. I wear father, husband, mentor, and coach. But also, I think the biggest one right now is just being a good follower.
Yeah.
In order to be a good leader, first off, you got to be a good follower. So letting go of my ego and my pride and learning to be somebody who can be accountable to other people. And also just doing the things that the coaches tell you to do instead of being someone who asks a question and then just disregards it or throws it away.
What would you say to someone who was in your shoes before you took this leap for yourself? Someone who's considering a future with your organization?
You don't have to know what the next step is, as long as you can see a few steps ahead of you. In other words, it's kind of like shining a flashlight in front of you in the dark. You can see in front of you for a little ways, and as long as you keep going, you're gonna find the path down the road. So the path may be long ways ahead of you and you can't see it, but as long as you just continue to go as far as you can see and rely on the coaching and mentorship, you're gonna make it.
That's great. Well, Carl, I appreciate you coming in and sharing about your business, about your family, about your father, and all the important things you're doing. It's been great talking to you.
Yeah, thank you. It's been awesome.
Thank you for joining us today on the Caddo Convos podcast. A huge shout out to our incredible network of members for making our community vibrant and supportive. If you're looking to boost your productivity and reduce the isolation of working from home, consider joining us at Caddo Office Reimagine. Our spaces are designed to meet your evolving needs, support remote work, and foster a sense of community that's hard to find at home. Whether you're a startup aiming for growth, a freelancer seeking a professional setting, or a company looking to optimize resources, Caddo offers a perfect blend of flexibility and innovation. By joining us, you'll be a part of a dynamic business ecosystem that helps you thrive. For more information, visit caddooffices.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Caddo Convos.